I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I'm not saying anyone don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president. And I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit.
Man, you should be fucking fired. You should be fired. All because y'all impeached him for bullshit and indicting him for bullshit. Y'all need to be fired. All y'all funky fuckers. If it was up to me, I'll fire all y'all pictures. I'll fire all y'all. Fuck it, that's 4 months ago. Boy, y'all just don't know. If it was up to me, the fuck, you got to say.
The lesson is don't scavenge.
Yup.
The instinct
Don't scam.
has to be to immediately find and connect with each other. And to know that the circle will be stronger.
Congressman Jim Comer from Kentucky, Chair of House Oversight. Congressman, I want you to remember this. Don't scatter. Okay, please don't scatter. But above all else, do not scatter. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt for you. Send it to you. Congressman, what's this all about? I mean, she said she didn't have all the answers. Things were going to get worse before they got better in that speech as she closed out. But we got 3% GDP. We have a real border. Sounds pretty good to me.
It is good. And look, there's no guarantee Kamala Harris would have even won that governor's race. If you look at how she got to be the Democrat nominee, she was appointed in a smoke-filled room. There's no guarantee she ever would have emerged from the primary, even if they had had an abbreviated primary. There's no guarantee she would have even beaten Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro or any other leading Democrat. Lastly, I'm glad she's not running, and I hope that she runs for president again because, look, she's a great candidate for Republicans. I don't think if you listed the top 20 potential candidates for president on the Republican side in 2028, I don't think she could even come close to any of them. So if the Democrats want to officially nominate her once, which I doubt they will, I'm all for it because I'm confident we'll have another Republican president.
Okay, before we get to the burn bags and what Kash Patel found, I mean, you listened to your colleagues across the political aisle. I mean, just yes or no, do they want her just to go away? I mean, you have to know this. Do they want her just to go away, most of them?
Yes, they never did like her. They didn't have a relationship with her when she was vice president, so they want her to go away.
No. In Congress, as I mentioned, the FBI Director Kash Patel announced that he found burn bags of Trump Russia hoax documents in a secret room. One of the documents officials found was the classified annex to former Special Counsel John Durham's final report, which includes the underlying intelligence he reviewed. So I guess it's kind of an annex section of that report. Now, Congressman, maybe it was just duplicated and you do burn things, and that is not, I don't want to make it like you don't ever have burn bags. You do have burn bags in the government. But what do you make of this?
Look, I knew all along that the Democrats would try to destroy any evidence that would make them liable in this Russia hoax. We knew it was a Russia hoax. Fox knew it was a Russia hoax. You did a great job, Laura, reporting the facts about this Russia hoax. Now Kash Patel, who, by the way, is the right guy for the job, he's in there. We've got John Radcliffe in there, Tulsi Gabbard's in there. They're all trying to get the truth to the American people and hold people accountable. It's not just about the fact that we've proven they lied all along to try to hurt Donald Trump and destroy his presidential campaign. It's about the fact that they've lost confidence. We've lost confidence in the intelligence community. We have competent people in there now. We want them to pay a price. We want the Comeys and the Brennans and those guys to pay a price for what they did. It's illegal, it's wrong, and they need to be held accountable. And I think Kash Patel is on the right track, and God bless Kash Patel and John Radcliffe.
Well, words about accountability are great. We actually have to see accountability. But Congressman, the Biden gatekeeper, Steve Ricchetti, testified in front of your committee today, and we're told he still thinks Biden could have won in 2024, and he was capable of being president right now. So what else can you tell him?
Well, he didn't tell us a whole lot of what you wouldn't expect. It appears to me a lot of these Biden lackeys, they're still trying to claim that Joe Biden was in top physical condition when everyone in America saw it in the debate. Everyone in America saw the rapid decline over the last year of his presidency, especially the last 4 months of his presidency. It's almost like they're a cult. You know, the 7 or 8 people that were around Joe Biden was like a cult. But at the end of the day, his testimony wasn't consistent with others who have actually testified. About half the Biden people have pled the fifth, the other half have testified. And all of their testimony is inconsistent. So we're going to put the pieces together, and we're going to release all the transcripts, and we're going to issue a report, and hopefully we'll be able to determine whether or not Joe Biden had any idea who was using the auto-pen and what they were using it for. That's part of the evidence that emerges that he did know.
Congressman, are you going to subpoena someone like a Kamala Harris?
I think that's another great thing about Kamala Harris not running for governor. She's going to have more time to come before the House Oversight Committee and testify about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. So I think the chances of Kamala Harris getting a subpoena are very high.
Well, that will be something, quite something. Get ready for the...
But first, once again, the so-called experts, they are dead wrong. The second quarter GDP numbers are in. They exceeded any and all expectations spectacularly. The U.S. is now growing at 3% for the second quarter, outpacing inflation. Consumer spending is up. Jobs are up. The unemployment rate is down. The stock market is breaking records. And inflation now hovering right around the target goal of 2%. Meanwhile, major trade deals, one after another, rolling in every single week and breaking tonight as we come on the air. President Trump announcing a huge new deal with South Korea that includes a $350 billion investment inside our country right here in the U.S. And yet our economy is still heavily weighted down because of one person, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who simply flat out refuses to lower interest rates like most of the rest of the world. He's keeping them sky high. It hurts every borrower. It's hurting the country, but especially first-time home buyers or those wishing to build a home or those wanting to buy a bigger home or another home. They can't because they can't give up their 3% 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. America's housing supply is virtually frozen because of Jerome Powell. Sales of pre-existing homes stalled, new home construction stalled, all because of Powell, who seems to have nothing but antipathy and hatred for President Donald Trump. Just today, he announced that there would be no cut at all, not a full basis point, not a half a point, not a quarter percentage point, nothing. He's fixated on blaming Donald Trump's tariff policies for his decision to keep rates high, policies that are paying off spectacularly. In the month of June, for the first time in 20 years, we had a budget surplus.
Man, this asshole should be fired, man. Why do he still have a job?
PCE prices rose 2.5%.
Why the fuck is he? What?
And excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.7%. These readings are little changed from the beginning of the year, although the underlying composition of price changes has shifted. Services inflation has continued to ease, while increased tariffs are pushing up prices in some categories of goods. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market-based and survey-based measures.
All right, according to Powell, you have to forget what's actually happening right now, disregard all the current inflation and the growth numbers, and ignore every trade deal now with South Korea, Great Britain.
How fucking stupid are we? This asshole needs to be fired. We're $37 trillion in debt because of the way that he want to run shit. Fire this asshole.
His crystal ball. In reality, based on this chart put out by the White House, the United States is home to some of the highest, look at that right there, highest interest rates in the world. Great Britain, UAE, Australia, Canada, China, all have lower interest rates. In fact, our interest rate is more than double the current rate in the Eurozone, more than 8 times the interest rates in Japan. So what is going on here? Frankly, I'll make it simple. It's time for Jerome Powell to resign, get out of the way. As a country, this is causing hundreds of billions of dollars in higher interest rates for our government alone. That means you will pay that bill. He clearly subscribes to Chucky Schumer's magical way of thinking, a guy who thinks that these strong economic numbers are nothing more than an illusion. Take a look.
Now, while the Trump administration will try to wave rosy headlines about the Q2 number, today's GDP number is in fact a mirage, because ominous numbers lurk under the hood. Donald Trump's tariffs are weighing down the U.S. economy, spiking costs for small businesses and families alike. And if Donald
Fuck
Trump
Chuck
keeps up
Schumer.
with chaos,
Chuck Schumer is a straight fucking asshole. Nobody should even be listening to nothing he got to say.
Same guy that said the border was closed and the border was secure. Same guy that said Joe is vigorous and he's not in cognitive decline. The same guy that said inflation is transitory. Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox
No,
News.
we don't want no more. We don't want no more Fox News. I'm already pissed off about Fox News right now. So we should get more Fox News on all news. All news should be like Fox News. Tell the fucking truth. Fuck. Make no fucking sense.
It,
Well, a lot of new revelations this morning. So a lot of news coming out of the FBI, but is it new or are they just dragging us along by the nose? Let us know in the comments below. Well, the FBI is suddenly finding a lot of new things, a lot of missing things, like things they lost from their couch cushions, I guess. This morning, FBI Director Kash Patel once again told Fox News that they found once hidden burn bags filled with incredible information. Burn bags.
Now, let me just, is that a real thing? And also, why would the FBI have it? What is it that they need to burn ever?
Well, I don't know.
Is it standard practice that the FBI should ever burn evidence? Under what circumstances
No,
would
it's,
we
I mean, I don't know if
use
it's
it?
standard practice. I wish I was an FBI agent. I can answer that question. I mean, isn't that not?
Right, so let's stretch our imagination. Under what circumstances would we be burning things if we are investigators for the government? Go ahead, Philip.
But I was just saying, isn't that kind of like a mini Watergate? Like, they got in trouble for destroying documents. Like, their documents should never be, if you're going to be transparent, they should never be destroyed.
Right, again, we're not experts here. We read these investigations all the time. I just want to know if we can stretch our imagination and say under what circumstances would it be appropriate for the government to ever burn things, evidence.
Well, I found them, so apparently they weren't burned. They were kept in these bags. I don't know. Of course, he told Fox News that, of course. So we're also learning the FBI suddenly found the missing minute of prison video footage outside of Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Where'd that minute go? Where was it hiding? Burn bags?
Under what circumstances should we be editing videos? Under what
well, God, hang on though. They found the missing minute, right? What was this? Was this on like what freaking 8mm like video reel? Was it like on the cutting room floor? It was digitally removed.
It was a VHS tape that said missing minute. And they're like, oh my god, it was on our shelf the whole time, a missing minute of video. What if we got this VHS tape? You know what? Someone put it in the wrong case. They put it in the Ventura Pet Detective case instead of the cover, the VHS cover. So where'd that minute go? Was it also in a burn bag somewhere? How did we suddenly find it? More on that in a second. Meanwhile, Maxwell says she'll testify in front of Congress if Trump frees her immunity. All of that gives her a pardon. He was asked that question. Watch.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell? It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something, it's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about. You would rule it out to her? Why has the dollar?
Yeah, so conservative influencers, though, seem to be embracing this idea, already maybe painting her as a bit of a potential hero. Some are predicting, like, this is how it'll go down in conservative influencer circles, maybe MAGA circles specifically. Here's how it'll go down, this meme. Elaine names a bunch of Democrats, maybe tosses in a few billionaires. She says Trump did nothing wrong. MAGA praises her for taking down the pedophiles. Trump pardons her for telling the truth. Well, Mel K is the host of the Mel K Show on Rumble, the author of Americans Anonymous, Restoring Power to the People, One Citizen at a Time. Mel has been covering this deeply on her show, and she joins us now to unpack all of this. Mel, great to see you.
Great to see you guys. Thank you for having me.
So let's unpack a couple of these things, the news of the day here. I just first want to get your take on Kash Patel's found thousands of sensitive Trump-Russia probe documents inside burn bags in secret rooms at the FBI, and he's turned these documents now over to the Senate Judiciary Committee. What do you make of that news, Mel?
Well, I find all of this very disheartening and unbelievable because so many of these people that were inside, particularly the CIA and other people around Trump the first term, had to have been involved in all of this, particularly Pompeo, Gina Haspel, a lot of the lawyers. So to me, what we're dealing with is unraveling of a cover-up, and it's been one cover-up after another cover-up, and at this point, what's scary and what should concern us all is we are at the point where we're believing everything and nothing at the same time, where everyone thinks everything is possible and nothing is true, and that's a recipe for walking straight into totalitarian technocracy when people are being constantly given new information that seems implausible and impossible, yet we have to accept it because we're getting no evidence handed to us of what was in there. And then, of course, all of this connects back to one group of people who have not been held accountable ever, and most people have no hope that they will be. So every new revelation is getting people's hopes up, and then nothing. And I understand there, Bongino and everyone saying, the swamp is deep and thick, but they're not even firing people that were involved.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
At the FBI or DOJ or the CIA. The firing at the CIA of people that worked for Brennan. And Brennan was the one who promoted people for 12 years. They still have a lot of loyalty in there, Brennan and Comey and all of them. And at the same time, they're finding new things every other day, and we're still not seeing accountability. And I think it's really disorienting for people on a grand scale.
It really is. It feels like a carrot. Like we're just like, okay, that? Yeah, what do we make of that? And that? And we're supposed to believe that in some FBI supply room, they have readily available burn bags for when they want to burn evidence, or someone in the chat says, no, it's anti-fire bags. We don't know. Like, under what circumstances should the FBI ever do this? And in your experience of trying to uncover these things, most of this is not paper. There's no actual paper trail.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of hard to believe that Hillary Clinton was like,
Exactly. I mean, it's outlandish. Also, the whole idea that there's a list of Epstein's clients is that's not fathomable. That's not how things work in this world. And again, it's all connected. The one thing that is most disturbing to me at this particular time is that a lot of things are being implemented while we're being distracted. And I really am at a point where watching the implementation of technology, particularly AI, and like what could possibly end up being pre-crime AI technology, and nobody's really talking about all of these moves that are happening while we are all looking at the Epstein case. We're looking at Ghislaine Maxwell, and he's interviewing her. Are you telling me that nobody interviewed her before she went to jail? She was never offered a deal?
Nope.
I always thought, why wasn't Weinstein offered a deal? Why wasn't Maxwell offered a deal? Why weren't these people offered deals when they were arrested? And now we're supposed to believe that they never spoke to her until this week?
Because of social media? Like now they're just talking to her because there's like social media backlash against the lack of Epstein files. Now she's speaking, and now she might want to get a pardon. She'll need immunity and come forward and tell
well,
tales.
actually, let's make the details clear here, because in her appeal to the Supreme Court, she's not saying she was innocent. She's saying she should have benefited from the immunity that the government gave Epstein in 2007 for her co-conspirators and future crimes. She's saying she should still benefit from that, but she didn't because of media interest. So never here is she saying that she was innocent, right?
Right. And don't forget, there were multiple other women involved that their names are out there too, that were also procurers, that were also basically madams. But honestly, you have to think to yourself. So you're telling me, I mean, did they offer any a deal he gave name or Weinstein or Maxwell? It just makes sense. And there's a theory out there that Maxwell did make a deal a long time ago that she was never going to serve her full sentence, and her family's very, very powerful. All I know is that what it's doing is it's throwing the people of the United States off balance so much that we are not seeing the new threats that are coming through with these new, basically, they're going to turn out the Patriot Act on steroids with AI. And in America, again, we have a Constitution and a Bill of Rights, and basically they're saying forget unreasonable search and seizure, probable cause, warrants, all of this stuff is going out the window because of this new problem. So to me, I just feel like the American people should be really fed up with the news cycle and the lack of resolve to have any accountability, responsibility, or truth out there. While at the same time we're seeing the tech bros basically are running DC. So to me, there's so much going on, and yet the real issues, which are to me technocracy, which is of course the end goal of globalists, is being built right before us. While nothing's coming to fruition, and people every day are like waiting, like you said, with a carrot and a stick. And we're walking forward, and before we know it, it's an all-government AI takeover, and people are just like, out to lunch, worrying about, when are we going to get some justice for a crossfire hurricane? Now we're all trying to face the record system, and that's really what you're talking to me about.
That's right, and not just leave these payments in your pocket and time paying. It is possible if you call American Financing today. So if you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bill piling up, well, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting those expenses on credit cards and way out. And that's why you need to call American Financing, because you may get to a point where you can't make those payments, but their salary-based mortgage consultants can help homeowners like you restructure their loan and consolidate your debt, all without upfront fees. They're saving their customers an average $800 a month, that's like a $10,000 per year raise. It's fast, it's simple, and it's something that you should learn for yourself because it could save you in your budget this summer. And in fact, again, leveraging your assets is how people build wealth. It's not hoarding, it's not stocking up. It's, again, Clayton always says savers are losers. So learn this for yourself. Learn how people build wealth instead of dig into debt. Call them at 866-890-8434 today, or go to AmericanFinancing.net/redacted. One more time, that's AmericanFinancing.net/redacted.
Go to the airport to find out somebody that's disturbing the trend. I mean, you have no choice by the time you reach the plane or the gate. See the signs from customer protection. You are now being surveilled. You're going into the database. Where it go, they're going to read your pictures and all of that. I think we've got to bring the right company. So there's sort of drip of information. Like, oh, now the FBI suddenly trying to make everything so this is the flag. Now I'm going back. So every few days, we're getting like a little drip. People are with little hangouts. So that you are totally focused on controlling and witnessing the whole Palantir government coverage and the big tech bros behind the scenes.
Unfortunately, I do. I was just in DC, and I'm telling you, the big tech pros have a lot more power than people think, particularly in multiple agencies. And now, you remember what happened when the all-government EPI program kicked off with 6 months under the Autocrat Biden presidency? Now it's an all-government AI program. And the other problem is, okay, so we get back our sovereign border, northern and southern borders, great. I'm not so concerned about that. I'm concerned about the border in cyberspace and the global public infrastructure, and that the people that are working with the DoD and the government to install all of this AI also have deals with China and the EU and NATO, which shouldn't exist. And at all this time, we're being distracted by all this salacious, but we want to see this, we want to see that. And people aren't questioning, where's the Constitution and the Bill of Rights in the all of government AI? And like you said, at the airport, people are going into foreign countries, and when they're going in through customs, they already know who they are. How is that happening in Europe for American citizens if we're not on the global public infrastructure that is worldwide? So I really do think that we have to take a step back and realize the distraction may very well be a ability and the chance for a technocratic age, as Brzezinski and Kissinger talked about for decades. And here we are, and that is my fear right now, that people aren't pushing back on their rights. The government in the United States of America is not entitled to our data. They are not entitled to know what's going on in our house, where we travel, what we do, what we buy. That is not America. That's antithetical to the whole point of America. And yet every single day I feel more and more of it is being ripped up, our rights, our Constitution, our inalienable rights, because we have to be more efficient in the government. And I just see two tracks running here. And one to me seems like a full distraction, and the other one is very dangerous for this country and the world.
What do you make of the schizophrenic nature of the American media now, which suddenly continues to give us these indications that Trump had a relationship with Epstein, that he was in his birthday book, we saw messages from him in lawsuits in Florida. It's not news to us that Trump was an Epstein associate, and yet the media has yet to prove anything substantive. And so they're, again, baiting us with these indications. That's not new to those of us who have followed Epstein. What are they doing with this? And will there be a shoe to drop? Or is this what the media is trying to latch onto?
Well, I think what we really have to understand is that Jeffrey Epstein's reach was far and wide, not just into transhumanism and all of that, but he was having events on this island for the biggest and best scientists in the world. I'm not talking about like these small people. I'm talking about the people that created the Human Genome Project, people that were Nobel laureates. He was having all these crypto people that way before anyone even heard of crypto. He was having these mind conferences, and then he was also funding the EDGE conferences and the Billionaire Dinners group. Brockman, who was an agent for, the biggest and best science superstars that write books and textbooks and all this stuff. So what I think we're dealing with is that this elite class of academics, particularly, I think the biggest shoe to drop for Epstein, and in my mind, I think he worked for the international banking cartel, all the way up to the Bank of International Settlements, the central banks, all of that. And so many people on that level are connected here and did go to that island. Did. They had the mind. I think it was called like the Minecraft Convention. You go look at that, you'll be like, oh my God, MIT, Harvard, Cambridge, Princeton. So I think that there's an entire class of both science, technology, and finance that is aligned with Epstein that they're not talking about. But they are talking about Donald Trump, where I assure you, if there was anything there, we would have seen it a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's the whole question of, well, if they can't show us the real footage, what was that about? So to me, they're protecting people, but I don't think it's the celebrities or the media people. I think it's the scientists and the finance people that are on the global public-private partnership, that go to Davos and Bilderberg and the BIS conferences. I think the situation with him is very different than what people were led to believe. So, throwing some chum about Donald Trump or celebrities, and they'll keep that up. Where in the meantime, I think we're talking about, weapons, transhumanism, all kinds of things that would be exposed, and the people would be exposed. And like Trump said, well, maybe not everyone's guilty. Well, who cares? Let's just find out what was going on, and then we can find out, who should be held accountable. But I think this is about protecting, again, the science. Don't forget, Jeffrey Epstein was very involved in everything that led to COVID as well. He was a member of the Trilateral Commission, a member of the Rockefeller Institute, a member of the Council of Foreign Relations at the top. So again, this is international, global situation. And I think it's a big distraction waiting for some list of Hollywood celebrities that don't matter. I think it's the people that really matter that are pulling the strings right now, and those are people that run international finance.
Yeah, all the really powerful pedophiles.
You already said all the powerful fucking pedophiles. Yep. And Donald Trump is not trying to hold them and hide them. Donald Trump want to release all that bullshit, but it's going to start a whole bunch of bullshit. But he giving them the choice. Which one you want? Epstein file? Or Obama to go down. You choose your poison, baby.